Say hi. I built my chicken coop last year using mainly scrap lumber that I already had, and I read a bunch of online forums to figure out like the best design. It was very budget of me. I got the first coat of white exterior paint on it, and then life got in the way. It needs some work right now. This is the very sad before state. The paint is rough. Yes. The door is broken. Cue dramatic music. It's time to get this coop fixed and to make it pretty. My vision was always to paint this coop to look like the one from the Hannah Montana movie. Guys, this coop was my dream when this movie came out. I begged my parents for chickens. Like, begged them for chickens. It didn't happen. So hey, that's what you do in your 30s is you make your childhood dreams come true. I originally went to get exterior paint for this, and $25 a quart was not going to happen. Luckily, I still have all of the acrylic paint from my childhood. Is this meant for exterior? No, but we are going to use it and hope that it remains waterproof because I own a lot of it. Here's the action plan. I need to spray the roof. I did buy exterior spray paint for that. I need to install the new door, and then I can paint the stripes onto it. Let's do it. Let's get started. My chicken coop is behind my garage, and it is in a tight space. I ended up setting up my camera inside the run, which is what you can see here. And the girls are very happy because they are currently let loose and they are running through my yard. Yeah, it's a fun color, isn't it? I started with spraying the roof in case I got paint on anything else. I did put a piece of cardboard behind it to protect my siding. And then I knew after this I could go ahead and paint the vent and a few other things while I had it going before I started installing the new door and some other things. So I am absolutely in love with this color at this point and super happy with how it's looking. I tried to match the color based on the photos I had from the movie, and I think I got it pretty good. I have absolutely been in love with the Hannah Montana chicken coop for so long. I think I have this color memorized. I see you. The egg door is another feature that I made based on the Hannah Montana coop. I cut this out, just literally, I drew an egg shape onto the side of the coop and then used a little jigsaw to cut it out. I then attached it with a latch and just a regular, like, T, what do we call that? A hinge. A regular T hinge. I just got it from Harbor Freight. And I painted it all with white exterior paint. The one in the movie is so cool. It's like 3D and it pops out from the structure. And I just couldn't think of a way to make that. So, if anyone has seen one done, please share it with me. I would love to have that door.
In the meantime, though, this one definitely fulfills the vibe and I love it. It was very easy to add to the coop. Break for some iced coffee, the ultimate way to get through a lot of painting. Before we begin, the door. So, you saw in the beginning, my original door, I accidentally broke it while I was cleaning my coop. So, I cut out this new one and it needed a fresh coat of exterior paint. I'm getting that on so it can begin drying before I install it for the evening. There is nothing as satisfying as a time lapse paint, in my opinion. I am removing the old door here. I have hinges on the bottom and the top that need to come off and then get used to attach the new door. As you can see, the chickens are not fazed by me doing all this work. One of them actually began laying while I was working. Yeah, that's Cyrus right there in her nesting box. Also, this is because the vent is still not put in. You can see through the side. This door is only used about once a week. It is where I clean out the bottom. That top door is where I get their eggs out of their nesting box each day.
Oh, that's gonna take a lot of paint.
While the door dries, I went ahead and started doing the yellow. This is going to be the upper, like 1/3 of it, which kind of is how it looks in the movie. That's where the top of it is. And this acrylic paint is going to take a while. The vent was dry, so I reinstalled it here. This allows me to open and close the airflow for them during the different seasons.
Okay, I'm gonna set it in place, and then I tried to brush that back early. Just mark where these are. Yeah, of course I did.
And this is where things begin to go wrong. The door is not fitting. Day two. I apparently did not film a single thing after I had to use a circular saw, which is the only thing I had handy to shave down the door and get it fixed and fitting. However, I did get installed. The girls had a safe place to sleep last night, and we're now ready to start the stripes. This is the iconic look of the movie. And here I'm going to be using like 4 different sized brushes and going in and doing different sized stripes so that it looks kind of like that plank feel that they have in the movie. The acrylic paint is working, but it takes a lot of it. As you can see, I literally was putting it like directly on the brush there for a little while, and then I tried to change it up and put it in a little container. So I'm going through a lot of paint to get this done, but I don't mind because I had all these colors laying around and I've had them a long time. At this point, it's starting to look like a circus, and I'm trying to trust the process. That is Cyrus out there with me again. So, Cyrus is my most friendly of my 4 chickens, but her sister, who looks just like her, is Miley, and you can see them on the side. And then the other two are Hannah and Montana, and they're a different breed. All right, I am rocking and rolling now. Like I said, I have different size brushes and I'm just changing up color. I tried these little foam brushes and that was the worst mistake. It did not work well at all and I ended up having like dab paint in. So after I did that mistake, I switched back to doing all brushes and I'm loving it so far.
All right, last step. I'm going to put black paint in between these to try and make them look like the boards, which is how hers was actually built in the movie.
Let's talk about my chickens while I paint on these black stripes. I have four, and yes, their names are Hannah, Montana, Miley, and Cyrus. They are just over a year old. They're all hens, and they all are egg layers. I have loved getting chickens. This was a childhood dream of mine and felt like the perfect thing to do when I was able to. And one of the things I knew I really wanted to do was like have a fun coop and give them fun names. And it's been a real joy. They each have their own personality, which has been fascinating to learn and then to like share with others. People always want to like ask if like they're friendly and stuff. And I'm like, well, some of them are. So Hannah and Montana are Rhode Island Reds, and they are not a particularly friendly breed. You can hold them, they don't like to be held. However, I do it sometimes anyways just to keep them nice. And they're very like an outspoken, if that makes sense. They're an outspoken chicken. And then the others are Miley and Cyrus, and they are a Plymouth Rock, a much friendlier breed. They love to be held and carried around, and they want the attention. And they're just, yeah, they're much more like a pet at that point. And then within them, you've seen Cyrus throughout this video a lot. So she got injured, and I ended up having to keep her separate for a while. So she got held even more than the others. And she's like a dog now. She will literally follow me around the yard. She has such a big personality.
Here she is. I absolutely love how this turned out. It is so fun and so bright. Maybe one day I'll have a coop as big as the one in the movie, but for now, this is my little mini version that is tucked away in my backyard, and I'm super happy with how this turned out.
Now for the close-up tour. The blue roof and matching blue window were absolute must for me, as well as this egg door. I made sure that this happened when I made this coop. And then, of course, all the super colorful stripes, which really make it so incredible and so fun. And little signs and stakes in the ground to add some whimsy elements to it.
Say hi. You want to say hi? No. Hannah, Montana, Miley, and Cyrus have their own social media. You can find them at Party in the Hen House. Follow along for more.